All right, it's the After the Show on the internet. Where is Diane? Diane, come on in.
And Diane,
I'll go get her.
Diane is with a group that has formed, has come together.
Where are the producers around
this group
place?
Has come together who are supporting Hillary Clinton.
JustSayNoDeal.com.
Right.
They do not want to support Barack Obama. They're angry about a lot of different issues.
Even though Hillary Clinton has said, if you voted for me, vote for him.
She has to say that.
You don't believe she means it. She needs her debt paid off, first off.
I'm not Hillary Clinton, so I don't know how she feels, but politically she has to say that.
Hey, Brian and Gretch, look who I have found. What were you doing in the green room?
She was probably getting a bagel.
No, I'll tell you what she was doing. She was in there talking to Maureen, that troublemaker makeup girl.
Yeah, but she makes her look good.
And a staunch Hillary supporter, I might add.
All right. Now you've they were talking a moment ago. You were unable to hear them. You've got a website called JustSayNoDeal.com, and it's essentially it's a huge site. It's a clearinghouse for all these women and Hillary supporters across the country who are so angry at Barack Obama, at Howard Dean, and at party leaders across the country who committed voter fraud.
Well, first of all, it's not just women. If I counted the number of emails from men coming into our email box, I would say it's maybe 60-40, 40% men. So I think that's another misconception that the media has put out there, that it's just a bunch of angry women.
I agree with that, because I have also heard via email or otherwise that men feel the same way.
Men feel very strongly. I have an anecdote for you. I got a call from a gentleman in Texas, older gentleman, very proper gentleman, and he said he witnessed this primary season through his daughter's eyes. She's a prominent attorney. She fought for everything she's ever achieved. And he said his family was so disgusted by the way Hillary was treated that he just gained so much respect for her. And when he saw her fighting instinct, it just, you know, he called us and he said, thank you so much. I'm a Republican and I admit that, but you're standing up for what you believe in. You're fighting for democracy. So we get lots of calls like that.
And so many people have talked about, well, you've got to understand, Diane, it's the historic nature of Barack Obama. Excuse me, what about the historic nature of Hillary Clinton?
Exactly, that's how we feel. We feel that, you know, for some reason the Clinton campaign shied away from the fact that she was a woman throughout the entire primary season.
We could tell.
And, you know, that bothered women. I will say that. And I'm sure they had strategic reasons for doing it.
Well,
but I think it was a mistake.
wrote the whole inside story, and she did a very good job. And it was Mark Penn. Mark Penn should be, I mean, not literally, but figuratively, he should be strung up. He should never work in politics again.
He certainly shouldn't be paid back his massive debt.
And yeah, he's owed half her debt. It goes to him. But almost all of his instincts were wrong. And all of his experience was wrong. And the fact that he didn't know that California was a winner-take-all, is that incredible?
It's incredible. And frankly, if you notice how much stronger Hillary became toward the end of the primary season. And in fact, the drumbeat for her to exit this campaign started in Iowa, for heaven's sake. And it wasn't just in certain media, on certain media channels, cable news networks. And I will admit to all three of you, I was not a Fox viewer. The hundreds of Hillary supporters that are friends of mine that I met on the campaign trail, they only watch Fox News now. That's stunning. This was not a network that targeted women per se, but because of the way the other networks treated Hillary, we had no choice. So we said, well, let's go over here and check it out. And we felt that you and your colleagues were far fairer to Hillary Clinton.
She thought
you just reported it the way you saw it.
She told us that.
She told Bill O'Reilly that.
Yeah. Well, it's you know, and welcome to the party.
And I'm really, and I have to tell you, everyone I've met today.
Yeah, I know.
Fantastic people. You're actually nice people.
We don't have horns growing out of our ears. But that's what the whole fair and balanced thing is all about.
But no one ever believed it before. Sorry.
No, well, maybe your side.
I'm just telling you
maybe you didn't. But now you've seen what we're all about. It's when everybody is saying blah blah blah, we say blee blee blee.
Blee, blee, blee.
We zig when everybody else is zag. That way it balances it out.
Sure.
And we do both sides.
Will you be singing later?
Excuse me?
Will you be singing later? Because it looks like you're ready for the Idol tryouts. You look so comfortable.
Why do you have yours pinned on and I have to hold mine?
That's a good question.
I think because they took your lavalier microphone off.
It's another diss at women.
No.
It is. This is another.
I'm not even
Yeah.
touching.
She's starting
I'm
a
not even
boycott.
touching that one.
All right, so you mentioned earlier during our broadcast that you, 3 weeks or so before the convention,
Right.
there's going to be some big news that you guys are going to create. What do you mean by that?
Well, this is one of the unintended consequences of starting Just Say No Deal. And by the way, I'm not the only founder. I had the idea to get it started, and then I glued together all the disparate factions. Originally, there were 7. By the time the first conference call happened, the weekend of Hillary's concession speech, the email was virally forwarded. This is how you realize how powerful the internet is. And suddenly there were 40 to 50 organizations on this call, 30 of whom were not even invited. By the following week, there were 100. Now there are 250. And these groups range from PACs, blogs, individual activists, grassroots political organizations, and now ordinary Americans are joining us.
Yeah.
So it really runs the gamut.
I love the fact that you've clarified that it's not just a bunch of cranky, angry women.
Oh, gosh, not at all.
It's across the board.
Tons of men.
I love whoever
Cranky
came,
and angry.
I
Tons
love
of cranky men.
Whoever came up with the group Puma, Party Unity My,
Love
starts
that.
with an A.
Love that.
That's a good one.
And in fact, it's so hard to trace the DNA of Puma. I know that one of our member blogs, River Daughter, it started on her blog, but so many other people adopted it simultaneously. But no one really cares about who gets credit in this. The Puma refers to the generic disaffected voter. It's sort of a mascot, if you will, for the movement. But what has happened is there's been a creative explosion. People are making videos, and we actually have a documentary maker out of Los Angeles who contacted us. And they are doing a doc on the Puma movement.
Oh, that's great.
And she is also, this gal who I cannot name yet, she is fusing in a lot of the caucus fraud stories. So she's traveling to Washington, Iowa.
Caucuses are
And
weird anyway. I think
we agree
it's
with
just
Governor.
so bizarre.
And Governor Rendell conceded in his recent credo.
Great meeting.
He
Do I
leaves
keep
all the
going?
You might
time.
fist
Yeah,
bump?
he just
He's got to go.
he just leaves. See you, Brian.
Recently, Governor Rendell put a credo on his website, and it was in response to Puma, and he called it Hounds.
Yeah,
Do you remember that?
he told us that on this show.
Oh, you actually spoke with him.
Yeah.
And I actually respect the governor tremendously. He's a charismatic leader. I know he helped Hillary in Pennsylvania. I was in Philadelphia campaigning for her. And he's a tremendous guy. I just think he's terrific. And he actually acknowledged in that credo that the process was grossly unfair. I'm not I'm just paraphrasing.
Yeah.
But he also stated that the caucus system rather should be abolished. And we agree completely with
it's
that.
crazy.
It is crazy.
But
3,000 people representing an entire state in some
Right.
cases.
Let me ask you this,
It just
though.
doesn't make sense.
If Barack Obama's camp comes to your group
Okay.
and with open arms and reaches out for the first time and says, please come join us, will that change your mind?
You know, I can't imagine that it will, and I can't imagine they'll come to us. I believe that Howard Dean, who I believe is a brilliant man and an incredible strategist, as we recall his 50-state strategy, but no one really questioned why he abandoned the so-called 50-state strategy and punished Florida and Michigan. Everyone accepted the rules, these arbitrary rules, at face value. No one ever asked, well, why would they do this? Why would they handicap Senator Clinton this way? And
The Dean and the Clintons never got along.
never got along, and clearly Senator Obama is far more
Sure.
closely aligned, ideologically speaking, with Howard Dean.
Yeah.
And we all know what
Yeah.
happened to Howard Dean.
Sure.
And he's carrying some
There's a lot going on.
bitterness and resentment from 2004, I bet.
Yeah.
And this is his way of maybe getting what he
Maybe,
wants.
maybe.
Getting what he wants.
You're going to have to come back in a couple
I
of
would
weeks
love to
tell
come
us about,
back.
so
We'll
we
let
can
you
talk
know about
the
the
caucus fraud and all that
Absolutely.
other stuff. All right.
Thank you so much for having me.
Real pleasure. Once again, which website you want to promote right now?
JustSayNoDeal.com. Sign up. Thank you.
All right, Diane, thanks a lot. That's our After the Show show. See you tomorrow.
We're leaving. Bye.